proceedings by our friendly volunteers, which is to your left. Sorry, you know it's. On behalf of the Institute Council, I would like to acknowledge the attendance of the Kunarakan and Warai traditional owners and custodians, our sponsors and VIP guests. Representatives from the public and private sector are here with us today, as well as staff and students of the Institute, graduates and their family and friends. I would like to specifically acknowledge the attendance of Robin Lambley, MLA, the Honourable Duran Young, MLA, Stephen Eddington, MLA, Chris, forgive me Chris if I pronounced your surname incorrectly, Savastris, close enough, CLP candidate for Daly, and a special mention of Charlie King, OAM. To open today's proceedings, the Institute Council and staff would like to recognise students and staff who have passed on in 2023 and 2024 by observing a 1 minute silence. Please join me in a minute of silence. Thank you. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I would now like to ask Kunarakan traditional owner and custodian and elder academic at Batchelor Institute to greet you to country and campus. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Sue Stanton.
Is that right now? I don't have to yell. Ready to go? Thank you, Stephanie. Kemek Nyenga, Chalingmara Kungarakan. I am Chalingmara of the Kungarakan. I greet you to this site in Kungarakan country today. My first duty today is to acknowledge my ancestors and all Kungarakan who have gone before us to join them at Kurunju, our spiritual heartland, the place where the Kungarakan spirit returns, to the paperbark swamps, to our dreaming places. Even though we are grieving a loss this week at this very moment, as part of that duty, I call out for our recently passed grandfather, father, uncle, cousin, Namiuk, son of our big Chimin. He has gone before us to join his father and other ancestors now Migarang, Namiuk Kongarakan, Mamak. If you look to the sky and you see Pubikmir, the giant sea eagle, he now soars above us. My second duty today is to acknowledge other Kongarakan here today, and I am pleased that Kongarakan voices will continue to be heard throughout this country through such celebrations as this Greeting to Country at Bachelor Institute's graduation ceremony. I extend greetings to all present here today on behalf of Kongarakan family, all descendants of Alandabu, all those who make up the many McGuinness families, Kemek Nyenga. As Kongarakan share this country with others, I wish to acknowledge and pay respect to Warai kin today. I take this time to acknowledge Kongarakan kin, the Warai people, but I cannot speak on behalf of, nor can I represent and or negotiate and or make arrangements on behalf of Warai. But as I stand here today, I can acknowledge and remember all the old people who have gone before us, all elders and Warai kin who are with us here today. Kemek Nyenga. I would also like to acknowledge my grandmother's people, Gurindji people, and especially those Gurindji present here today. I also acknowledge all present today, distinguished guests, members of Bachelor Council, the Chair of Council, Pat Anderson AO, new CEO, Mr. Martin Jard, Deputy CEO, Mr. David Cusack, all Bachelor Institute staff, all our many colleagues across Bachelor Institute's many locations throughout the Northern Territory, and especially today, all Bachelor Institute students who come from many different locations as well, and not to forget community members and visitors to this country. Today's greeting extends to the many Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples here today, and especially visitors from interstate. I greet you to this place, and I extend my respect and acknowledgement to your respective families and communities. I greet you to this beautiful country of the paperbark people, especially today in my institute role as elder academic, but also as Kongarakan elder Challingmurra. And I remark on what a glorious day for us all to come together and to share and to celebrate. And I also ask you to take time to reflect on the significance of this practice of greeting or welcome to country, the old and ancient tradition that it is. And it is important that Bachelor Institute, with all staff and students, ensure the integrity of this practice, an ancient practice, not only as an observance of significant protocol, not simply as an act of diplomacy, but this practice which also ensures your safety and well-being. And it is a way of displaying the highest level of respect to your hosts, the custodians of this land on which you work, live, or visit. This greeting, or welcome to country, protects custodians as well, and it is the reason why Kongarakan expect that the practice be both respectful and enduring. I congratulate all the graduates today and celebrate with you and reminisce about the journey of being a student and coming through the ranks, doing all the hard work and seeing the results at the end of it. So congratulations, and my love and good thoughts are with you at this time. For non-Aboriginal and Aboriginal alike, greetings or welcome to country demonstrates that a flexible and productive relationship is possible between different groups of people. Greeting or welcome to country should not be viewed or considered as some pretend gesture or an entertainment portion of an event, merely some mechanical, cultural, tokenistic practice or necessity as part of a staged Aboriginal event. This greeting or welcome to country, Kungarakan expect that relationships forged and those that are ongoing will always be reciprocal and respectful, and that there be shared responsibilities between all parties and visitors to our country. So for all those who work, visit, travel and or live in Kungarakan country, be safe, be happy, and I ask that you be appreciative and respectful, remembering that you walk on Kungarakan land. You walk over the footprints of our ancestors. You follow the directions and paths of present-day Kungarakan, and in your shared responsibilities with us, you must help preserve those paths, the song lines, and the country for future Kungarakan Pomba Kidgits that will traverse this land. As Kungarakan have been here since Mapulbark, or the creation. We expect we will be here for a long time to come. So we ask all visitors, tread lightly on our country, bring with you and leave on your departure good and positive energies, and be grateful for all that you have learned and what has been shared with you during your short stay in this beautiful country. So thank you, and Kemek Nienga, Chalangmara Kungarakan. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Sue. I would now like to call upon Ms. Pat Anderson, AO, the Chair of Bachelor Institute Council, to address all graduates.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'd like to pay respects to all of you, all the families who are here today, and of course all our graduates today, all of our visitors, distinguished visitors, families. That's what Bachelor does. We provide dual sector education for all of the families, Aboriginal families, Torres Strait Islander families, not only here in the Northern Territory but across Australia. Thank you, Dr. Sue, for a very generous and welcome, but also a story with it, explaining why it's important and what it's all about. And so she's always very clear about that. So thank you once again for educating all of those around us. I'd like to acknowledge in particular the Kungarakan and Warai people, the traditional owners and custodians of all the lands in this area upon which we meet today, and I pay our respects on behalf of us all to their elders past and present. It's always a great pleasure to be on campus on this beautiful country and to be here with many of you graduating today, from your studies. I'm hoping a message from me for today is at just the beginning, and that you will become lifelong learners, and that we all continue to learn and educate ourselves as we continue on this life's journey. This year, 2024, Bachelor Institute commemorates its 50th year milestone. this is my home, and I've been around from pretty much from the beginning. So this is really no small achievement, considering the Institute's really humble beginnings and the many highs and lows it has endured along the way. Despite the challenges, and this has not impacted on our ability to provide high-quality educational outcomes for our families and our communities. That's the group that we work with. We remain one of the most successful dual sector institutions in Australia. We have been awarded Best Large Training Provider at the Northern Territory Training Awards consistently for the last 3 years. In addition, the 2023 Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander Health Worker and Practitioner Excellence Award has 17 finalists, 17, from across the Northern Territory. It should be noted that all of the finalists and all of the winners actually are alumni from Batchelor Institute. It's a huge achievement. A lot of people really don't understand what we do here, but just some statistics to show you. And we are important. What we do here and the people who come here, we ain't going anywhere. This is our place. So there's a stable, educated workforce, and we can make a huge contribution to the further development of our country. There's a whole lot of industry and companies who come here, and this is a good place to start to look for graduates from Batchelor Institute. As I said, it's a stable source of a workforce. And this is just one example of the many great pathways available to students that graduate from Batchelor. We hope soon to have a degree level course on offer for those students that wish to continue their learning. We are working on our registration so we can offer undergraduate programs in environmental science, arts, teaching, and many other areas that students may want to pursue. Congratulations to all of those who are graduating today. I hope that your pathways are successful, and as those of the health practitioners. We have a long tradition of producing Aboriginal health workers. We're the only jurisdiction in Australia that actually does that. These are practitioners who can do everything except prescribe medication. We're the only jurisdiction that does that. I would also like to acknowledge the families of all of those who are graduating today. Wanting to do well for our families is often one of the reasons people take up study, and it is their support that gets us through. Education, of course, being, it's it is a truism. Education is a pathway to many successes and many adventures and many journeys. As mentioned earlier, we are celebrating 50 years in August, and we're going to have a week-long celebrations, various celebrations across the Northern Territory, and you'll be invited to join. We'll be publishing the calendar soon. So we look forward to seeing many students and alumni and families attending, and of course everyone is welcome. And it's worth celebrating these first 50 years. You will know by now that the Council has appointed a new CEO after a lengthy search. The reason it has taken time is because Council was searching for a leader with the skills and experience needed to manage our unique institute, but also to lead us into the next 50 years. I'd like to introduce Joe Martin-Jard, who started last week with us. Joe has a lot of experience, a lot of depth. He was senior executive in the federal government and chief executive officer of both Central Land Council and Northern Land Council. He has a depth of knowledge and experience that will lead us, as I said, into the next 50 years. Joe, of course, is one of us. He comes from the Northern Territory. I know his family well, and just to share a more personal knowledge of him, I used to wheel him in his stroller, him and his sister. We welcome Joe, and Joe's going to speak shortly, but first I want to hand over to David Cusack, who will give the CEO address. as he has been the interim CEO for the past 12 months. We didn't expect, David, that it would be this long. So I really want to publicly acknowledge and thank David for the efforts over this time while we were doing this almost an odyssey, an epic journey almost, to find a new CEO. So I just want to pay my respects to David, and David's going to talk to you next. Yes? And then Joe's going to say something. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Pat, for your words this afternoon. Just before we move on to our next speaker, I just want to take a moment while you're all here, before we proceed with the proceedings, and join me in a nice announcement of happy birthday to our Chair of Council, Pat Anderson, on her 80 years with us here. Thank you. I would now like to call upon the Deputy Chief Executive Officer, Mr. David Cusack. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. Can you hear me? Yep. I'd like to thank all of you for coming and all the staff that have played their bit here. There are a lot of people, very important people that come from communities, people come from around Bachelor, Adelaide River, all those areas. And of course we've got our political representatives, and it'd be remiss of me not to give you all the best wishes for the upcoming elections, and then we'll see where we go from there, but best wishes. On behalf of Bachelor Institute, I'd like to begin by paying my respects to the traditional custodians of the land on which we are gathered, the Kungarakan and Warai peoples. We honour the traditional guardians, their cultures, and the elders of yesterday, today and tomorrow. And you'll see running around either this small or my height maybe, all the future leaders and elders that have come along. So best wishes to all of you. And coming to today's event, the graduation, is one of the most important events for everyone at Bachelor Institute. Today's ceremony symbolises the achievements and successes of our graduates. All graduates are here today to demonstrate their hard work, commitment and perseverance to complete studies and obtain qualifications that will set you up for a new imagined future. And when you get your testimony, which is what you'll be handed, something like this, know this, that it's not just a piece of paper. It represents sacrifices that you've made, dedication and commitment that you've put in, despite all the ups and downs. And also, it's an important representation of the resilience you paid along your learning journey, because you would have made a lot of mistakes, or some mistakes, some of you no mistakes, some of the, and understanding that mistakes are an important building block of learning. Without them, sometimes we don't progress. And so, this is for you. So the qualifications not only open more employment opportunities and study pathways for those of you who seek them, but may also serve as an inspiration for other students and potential students in your families and communities more widely. And some of you already would have seen families come through already, or you got younger ones watching you come through this. And it's how families get traditionally drawn into studying more, through watching other members of families or close friends do it. And I urge you to encourage other people in the path that you've made. On behalf of Bachelor Institute, I thank and congratulate you all for everything you have achieved with us and for the contributions you will make to your families and communities as you put these new learnings in practice for those around you. I congratulate and thank all families, friends and communities here today for supporting our graduates in their journeys at Bachelor Institute. I think The other thing that Pat Anderson said was that Bachelor has been winning the Large Provider of the Year award for 3 years straight, and we've got our fingers crossed for the 4th year. But also, really importantly, the winner of those awards go on at the National Training Awards. So Bachelor's represented the Northern Territory at those events 3 years in the running. We hope for a 4th year. In saying all that, I'm sure I can speak for all Bachelor Institute staff in wishing you well on your next journey. We're proud of each of you and your accomplishments. And we're also happy to welcome you today as a graduate of 2024. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Cusack. I now call upon our new Chief Executive Officer, Joe Martin-Jarr.
Good afternoon, everybody, and thank you. Just like to begin by thanking David and also the Council Chair. It's been a warm introduction. I didn't realise it would go back so far, but thank you again. I don't want to keep everyone because the most important people here today are before you, and so I'll keep it brief. I too would like to acknowledge the Kanara people, the traditional owners of this country, and thank you for that welcome, Dr. Sue. We should be hearing more of that to fully understand what that really means, so thank you. I'm pleased to be here today to be part of the graduation celebrations. Graduations are the celebration of all the hard work of students and all of the staff who support you. This is day 9 for me, and in the short time I've been here, it's just one of the great things that are happening at Bachelor. I'm excited to be working here. Bachelor's future is very bright, and we are certainly walking towards another 50 years. So congratulations to all who are graduating today. I acknowledge all the hard work you've done, and we are here to celebrate with you your achievements and wish you well in the future. It'd be really good if you could encourage your friends and family to enrol here at Bachelor, and so they can share in the experience. Hope to see you at the 50th celebrations. I hope my voice isn't too scratchy. I watched the State of Origin last night. Did anyone watch it? Any Queensland supporters? All jumping on now. But yeah, I'm feeling a bit bruised, sore throat, but could I go for Blues? But no one's perfect. So I know no one's perfect. All right. So thank you, everyone.
Thank you. I would now like to call upon the keynote speaker for today's ceremony, the Honourable Doron Young. The Honourable Doron Young currently serves as the member for Daly in the Northern Territory Legislative Assembly. Having won a historic by-election in September 2021, he is the voice for the Daly in the Territory Government. Doron is a Yagul man, but has lived in the Territory over 10 years. Currently at Wagai Beach, and previously spent 4 years on Wadair, working with students at the local boarding school and their families. He is also the Regional Development Manager for the Wadair Football League, running footy camps for the entire Daly region. Doron was raised by his teacher mum to always look out for others and lend a hand where you can. Doron is currently the 15th Speaker of the Northern Territory Legislative Assembly and the Chair of the Legal and Constitutional Affairs and House Committee. Please join me in welcoming the Honourable Doron Young.
Thank you, and I wasn't expecting that introduction, so thank you for that. Can everybody hear me from here? Yeah. But firstly, I'd just like to acknowledge the Kanaraka and Warraq people, whose beautiful land we meet today, and pay respects to elders past and present. And to you, Dr. Sue, the story about the paper bark, it really resonates with me. I remember when I was first elected into Parliament and you came to my office to welcome me on your country, and I still have on my table the piece of paper bark you gave me, and I look at that every day, and that really does guide me in the work that I do, and it reminds me why we're in such a lucky position to be in. So that really hits home when I look at that every day when I go into the office. So thank you for that. For those that don't know me, I'm Duran Young. I'm a Yagle person from Yamba, which is a long way from here, over in New South Wales. But I moved up here, close to 13, 14 years ago now, working at Wadeye to head up a boarding school there and implement programs to get students from the West Daly region to finish their secondary education. So it really reflects here today what we do at Batchelor Institute. So again, it's a great honour to be speaking today at this graduation ceremony. There's so much work that goes in to days like this to help achieve achieve the exceptional education, and I'm proud to be a part of this. As First Nations people, we have the right to grow up in an environment with the access to equal standard of education and equal standard of higher education. We are all here today to celebrate your success, and because we believe that everyone, no matter where you live, no matter your circumstances, everyone deserves an education that sets you up for a happy and successful life. That is critical to closing the gap on Aboriginal disadvantage. We know there are many factors outside that impact on a quality education, from adequate housing, access to health, work, and the ability to live on country to ensure we all have the right to practice our culture, practice our ceremonies, speak our language. Without this, we will continue to see the gap widen. Batchelor Institute is playing an important role to close the gap, already equipped with deeply established knowledge systems, cultural values, and ways of learning that have been shaped by our people. Batchelor Institute works with our people with respect and is embedded with cultural and two-way learning in and through the institution so that courses are able to deliver learning that reflects the rich cultural and linguistic diversity of our people. It's wonderful to be involved in this graduation to celebrate what has been achieved today and to hear the stories as what is yet to be achieved. For many, this is just the start of your journey, and it's a proud moment to reflect on the work and dedication you have all put in to get to this stage in your journey. In closing, I'd just like to thank the staff and also acknowledge the new incoming CEO, Jo Martin-Jard, a wonderful appointment, so congratulations on that. Also to all the students for getting through the courses that you've been doing over the last few months and here to the graduation ceremony, but also to your families, I'm sure, who have been supporting you out through this whole journey. We know that important role that our families play to get us where we are today. So thank you and congratulations, everyone.
Thank you, the Honourable Duran Young. I would like to call upon the Acting Executive Dean, Higher Education and Research, Associate Professor Dr. Catherine Gilby, to talk on behalf of the PhD graduate that unfortunately cannot attend today to receive her award in person. So please join me in welcoming Dr. Catherine Gilby.
Today is all about you guys, and I hope you take the time to really savour this moment. Enjoy it, because this is all your hard work paying off now. You would have all made a decision at some point, because it would have been easier to quit, but you didn't. You dug really deep and you finished, and congratulations to every single one of you for your resilience and your strength, and just go and celebrate. This is your day. I'm going to talk about one of our students who, our graduate school, if you think that research is searching for an answer and then researching for that answer, and that's what it is. And so when we undertake these kind of research projects, we're really looking to solve questions, answer questions that we want, answers to go out and get that information. Kate can't be with us because she is in Vietnam as a teacher in the International Baccalaureate program. So when I talked about that decision that you guys all made to stick it out, to dig deep, to finish, Kate also had a bit of a journey, and I know she's watching, and we're recording it for her. So I'll speak directly to you now, Kate. Kate's the only non-Aboriginal person in our graduate school. She came to us via a supervisor, and when her supervisor left, she was like, do I have to leave the bachelor community of practice that we had set up? And I was just like, no, you don't, because you're one of us now. You're part of our community of practice. In a mainstream classroom, you'll find that you can often be the only Aboriginal body in a classroom full of non-Aboriginal people. And that's the kind of mainstream experience. And people have written about that. She consistently paid for herself to come to masterclass. She was the only non-Aboriginal student in a classroom full of Aboriginal students, and she engaged and she kind of worked her way in. So her resilience, and hers wasn't an easy path to the PhD journey. She was looking at critical race theory and how you could apply it in an international baccalaureate program that was being run out of a high school in Canberra. So there were lots of reasons for her to quit, but she didn't. There were lots of reasons for her to go, this is just too hard, including losing all of her supervision team. So while I'm here, I'm going to give a quick shout out to Dr. Robin Ober, who stood up and, do you want to just stand up and wave your hands around? She stood up when Kate was left with no supervisors and became one of her supervisors, as did Professor Mari Brennan, who will also be watching. So we are grateful for, the depth of our talent in terms of Aboriginal academics, and our friends in the academic community who do step up to support us because they love us, because we're exceptional, as you are all exceptional. And I say to every single person who graduates out of a bachelor course, you change the narrative about us through your excellence, just through the success that is here on display today. And Kate, I will speak to you directly. You change the narrative by choosing to come and stay with us, by wanting to, by making all of the effort, and by becoming, part of our kind of community of practice in the research division. So to every single one of you, I'll stop talking. Congratulations. Yay for you. Kate, congratulations.
Thank you, Associate Professor Gilby. I would now like to call upon the Chair of Council, Ms. Pat Anderson, AA, to present the Bachelor Institute Testament to graduates. And I also call upon the Director of Vet Business Operations, Mr. Michael Keating, to present the graduates to the Bachelor Institute Chair of Council for the conferral of Bachelor Institute Vet Awards.
Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you, everyone, for your attendance, not just graduands about to become graduates, but to your friends and family and well-wishers, and to our staff who are here today, as well as our special guests. We obviously appreciate all of your support, and I know that our students very much do. Today, on behalf of the Vet Division, I'd like to thank you for choosing us as your education provider. I hope that the journey was definitely worth the destination. Sometimes that journey has a lot of value to it in itself, but obviously the final destination is today, when you will receive your diplomas or certificates from Bachelor Institute. As has been said by our colleagues, including David, we obviously hope that this inspires you as well to consider education going forward, whether it's with Bachelor or someone else, that's fine. But education is a really powerful medium and it can certainly help you get wherever you want to go in life. So please think about it, you've got plenty of time, it's a lifelong thing. Just some mechanics, I'm going to start at the top and start calling you out. And if you could go and join our Institute Chair, Pat, and get your testimony over there and a handshake. For those that want a photo, obviously we'd love to get a photo of you with Pat. If you don't want a photo, that's perfectly fine, we respect that. Just let the photographer know that you're not going to have one and we'll move on, that's not a problem. So without further ado, we'll get started with our first graduate to become a graduate, graduating with a diploma of Aboriginal and/or Torres Strait Islander primary healthcare practice, Celestine Fisher. Well done, Celestine, you showed us how. Excellent. Moving on to graduates for the Diploma of Early Childhood Education and Care, Elvina Damarangi. Our next graduate, Zelda Damarangi. Well done. Quintina Gondara. Priscilla Lawrence. And our final graduate for the Diploma of Early Childhood Education and Care, Gail Maria Rioli. Well done, Gail. Moving on to the Certificate for in Aboriginal and/or Torres Strait Islander Primary Healthcare Practice, Camelia Benga. Sandra Brown. And our final graduate in this category, Natalie Michelle Williams. Great. Our next group will be graduating with the Certificate 3 in Business, and our first graduate is Rebecca Nilkare. Lisa Kim Rioli. And Shanice Verberg. Our next group of graduates will be collecting a Certificate 3 in Community Services, my apologies, and all students are also simultaneously collecting a Certificate 2 in Community Services, which they had previously completed. Shanail Cutter. Angelina Ebon. Leonie Hunt. Erica Gale McHugh. Bristaria Radovanovic. +1. And Madeline Ellen Rowe. Congratulations. Our next group will be graduating with the Certificate 3 in Screen and Media, and our first graduate is Tyrell Berryman. Delma McCartney. And Mark Watjana. Our next graduates will be graduating with a Certificate 2 in Aboriginal and/or Torres Strait Islander Primary Healthcare. Renita Gori. Sonia Roberts. Graduating with a Certificate 2 in Conservation and Ecosystem Management, Natalie Blittner. Angela Catherine. Also graduating with a Certificate 1 in Access to Vocational Pathways, as well as their Certificate 2, Arthur Muggleton. Arthur. And also graduating with both the Certificate 2 in CEM and the Certificate 1 in Access to Vocational Pathways, Basil Morimal. Our next students will be graduating with the Certificate 2 in Construction. Our first graduate, Nicholas Triantafilou. Karina Samantha Whitmore. Tanya Marie Williams. Graduating with the Certificate 2 in Resources and Infrastructure Work Preparation, Jeremy Arfat. Crystal Fitzgerald. Jude Lami Lami. Tyrese McGregor Miller. Trevina Nicky. Talisha Zamet. Graduating with the Certificate 2 in Workplace Skills, Lani Hudson. Natasha Minjilba Rami Nangamba. Keith Rogers. Graduating with a Certificate 1 in Access to Vocational Pathways, Ralston Jorlam. Daphne Huddleston. Nicholas Hunter. Charmaine Minen-Kirker. Philip Nagariba. Jason Raymond. Lincoln Raymond. Kevin Thompson. Joy Mandu Damarangi. Caroline Gingenboy. Nicola Samantha Earl. Natasha Japu Manyaran. Wilva Stewart. Graduating with a Certificate 1 in Automotive Vocational Preparation, Chris Farrell. And graduating with a Certificate 3 in Community Services, Erica McHugh. Ladies and gentlemen, that brings an end to the vocational education presentations for the graduates. Can I have a round of applause for our graduates, please?
Thank you, Mr. Keating, and thank you, Ms. Anderson. I now call forward Gina Campbell, who will present the Harry Wilson Memorial Award. Gina is the business manager at TIBA, the Top End Aboriginal Broadcasting Association. This award is sponsored by TIBA and recognises the outstanding achievements of a graduate in screen and media. This year, the Harry Wilson Memorial Award goes to Mark Wajana. Thank you, Ms. Campbell. Congratulations, Mr. Wajana. Chair of Council and members, the ceremony is almost complete, but it's also important to remember the people that celebrate the graduation, these being our graduates. Chair of Council, on behalf of the students who have graduated today, the student response this year will be provided by Ms. Zelda Damarangi, a graduate in the Diploma of Early Childhood Education and Care. Zelda Damarangi is a proud young woman from Gulawinku. She is an emerging leader in her community, both professionally and within the Damarangi clan. Zelda has worked for a number of years in the Shepherdson College Preschool and is an ASQ track and a 3A practitioner. She has recently moved to the NT Police as an Aboriginal Liaison Officer. Her community and family are so proud of her. Please join me in welcoming Ms. Damarangi.
Thank you, Stephanie. Good afternoon, everyone. First of all, I would like to begin by acknowledging the traditional owners of the land which we meet today and pay my respect to the elders, past, present, as well emerging leaders. I extend that respect to Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islanders people here today. My name is Zelda Damaranji. I am a Yolngu woman from Northeast Arnhem Land. I was born in Darwin and raised in Galiwinko. My schooling that I attended was at Shepparton College, from transition to middle years. When I reached grade 7, my mom sent me to boarding school in Comilda College. I was attending that school for 3 years, but I decided to stay in Galiwinko and attend Shepparton College, so I did. I've graduated my year 12 in 2016 at Shepparton College with other 8 students. Since I finished school, I straight away got a job at Miwaj Health Center as a receptionist for 2 years. After 2 years, I worked for Traditional Credit Union Bank as a supervisor for 2.5 years. Then I started with Connected Beginnings for 7 months. And from there, I moved to work along with early years transition students at preschool at Shepparton College. Last year, in 2024, I have graduated Cert 3 in Early Years Childhood Education in Bachelor, with the ladies that were graduating diploma today. And now, I have started my new job in the Northern Territory Police Fire Emergency Services as an Aboriginal Liaison Officer with local police back Galiwinko. As a proud Yolngu woman, I stand here, I am overwhelmed with memories and emotions. Thank you for being our sides and sharing in this incredible ride. Our teacher Meredith Nilsson and mentors, your wisdom and guides have shaped our mind and it needed our passion for learning. Your dedication to education has not only imparted knowledge, but has also installed in us a desire to keep growing and exploring. Congratulations to all the graduates and to your parents and families who are celebrating with you today and who will cheer you on your next step, which are coming fast. Once again, congratulations all. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Damaranji. We are now at the end of the ceremony, and before I invite everyone to join us in cutting and enjoying the graduation cake, I would also like to take this opportunity to thank the current Screen and Media students and trainers Patrick McKenzie, Heath Baxter, and David Pollock for live streaming today's ceremony. So let's give them a clap. Thank you, everybody. A special acknowledgement also for our artist, Lorraine Williams, a student of Bachelor Institute who created the artwork featured on today's graduation booklet and on our stage behind us here. The shellfish here are longbums or danajara, damagala, mud mussels, and Danila stringbag. Graduates, after the ceremony and academic is completed, could you please meet on the grass for photos and the cutting of our graduation cake to the right? I would now like to ask our elder, Dr. Sue Stanton, to lead the academic procession from the ceremony venue. We would appreciate if all graduates and staff return their gowns to the gowning area after that. Thank you all for attending today, and please drive home safely. Could I have all the graduates please come back to the stage area, Dr. Sue, and we will commence the music to take off. So graduates, please come behind the council members. Come up first, please. Dr. Sue, could you please hold for one moment? Thank you, everybody. Dr. Sue, please proceed in leading the academic procession out. Thank you.
sleep.
Standing on the shoreline, come in, come in. Mother wanna cross mine, wanna take it from me. Fire in my eye, but we ain't running. Want a mother, let's ride. Patiently waiting for someone I ain't never seen before. They say he's a captain of men, but ain't believing our love. From the land of the white skin, he's self-righteous, a murder without license. With the spear, I'm the nicest, thinking that I might just wait till night hits. Then I move in silence, when the moon at its highest, and my soul is defiant. I'm consumed by desire to kill. Any white devil wanna test my will, then he finna get burnt by the fire I feel. Look him in the eye and hold his spirit still. He's hoping I don't catch him, but I know I will. Standing on the shoreline, come in. Mother wanna cross mine, wanna take it from me. Fire in my eye, but we ain't running. Wanna mother, let's ride. Standing on the shoreline, come in. Mother wanna cross mine, wanna take it from me. Fire in my eye, but we ain't running. Wanna mother, let's ride. Yeah, they say that it came in peace, but our blood still stains the beach. Roll the dice, we gon' play for keeps. The sacred place ain't a place to preach.
No, no, no.
No white faith and a black belief.
No, no, no.
Better pray that our spears don't reach. He's cold, white hot, I'ma make it bleed. Leading to the first fleet, sicker than disease that he bring from overseas. No matter where you flee, I will always be. In the darkest of night, your descendant will see me. Standing on the shoreline, come in, come in. Mother wanna cross mine, wanna take it from me.